LPT. Learn phone etiquette, especially if you're a young person. I've worked in various customer service positions for 30 years, answering and directing phone calls. I am amazed at the amount of people, and it's getting worse year to year, especially from young people that don't know how to use the phone. I mean, they know how to dial, but they don't know how to talk or what to say. A phone call that should last 10 seconds will last 1-2 minutes while I'm trying to pull information out of the caller. Please, if you're calling a place of business, have a few things ready to go, such as 1. Who or what you're calling for. 2. What you'd like accomplished by calling. 3. And most importantly, speak up and know your name and phone number. If you need to talk out the call before dialing the business, your conversation should go something like this. Person answering: how may I help you today? You: hello. This is, may I please speak to? Or, this is calling. I'm looking for someone that can help me with. Would you be able to direct me to the right place? Remember to be polite and say thank you if you are calling someone for a service and are meek or a jerk to them on the phone because you can't communicate what you want. They will not be able to help you nor put you in touch with someone that can help you. Speech used to be the main form of communication and is still a skill you need to have to talk to strangers. I have decent phone etiquette. It soon goes out the window when I've had to repeat the same information 4 times to 3 different people in an automated service and being constantly transferred from team to team because we don't handle those specific requests. What should be a 10-minute phone call turns into a 40-minute one, with 30 of those being on hold between departments. I noticed this in my last job a lot, and mostly from 40-50-year-olds. They immediately start on a long story without saying their name or what subject their issue is about. Or they greet me and I have to ask them what they're calling about. Seriously. I'd often even have to ask people if their case was X or Y related, and they often couldn't tell me. It was so frustrating. How do you get to age 40 and now know how to place a basic phone call? LPT. Please, for the love of blob, use single digits when giving a phone number, address, or credit card number. 1. Tell me what you'd like to achieve. 2. Answer my questions. 3. PL's no backstory. I couldn't care less. 4. Have your details ready. In my time 3 years of phone service, I wouldn't say it's young people, or anyone in particular, that necessary be things or aren't ready. I currently work on phones and I have to agree with the other commenter. Usually it's not young people but like 40s or 50-year-olds. I have no idea why. Because they have decades more phone etiquette practice than I do. But they're calling while doing something else, being distracted, yelling at kids, etc., and have very little regard for the person whose time they're taking up. Usually younger people just want to get on and off as soon as possible, barring the occasional distraction. Proper phone etiquette should obviously also be used if you're answering the phones for a business. I called the health department 2 days ago, and the woman that answered the phone just said hello in an annoyed sounding voice. I thought I dialed the wrong number. At least say what business you're working for. I am on the phone a lot for work as well. I answer with my name. This is okay, replacement, etc., etc. Every time. I find it's the older folks who will insist that I should know who they are somehow. If we've spoken before, and they stated their name already, then yes, of course I'll know who they are. Also, the television on at high decibels with the older folks. When I answered phones, inevitably it was the old people being jerks or not listening. I also have done a lot of call center work. I agree with the other commenters. People above 40 are usually the ones that would cause the most problems. They would be the ones that would call in and badger people over the phone thinking that it would Get them something. Most, not all younger people would be more understanding and appreciative. And even if they got upset, it usually didn't devolve into personally insulting me. They'd usually say, "I know it's not your fault, but," and ask for a manager or whatever. Older people usually assumed I was lying and could do things that I could not. I've worked at a bank for 5 years. The majority of our messages were from old people and like 40. They are the worst with not leaving any information aside from their name and the problem. Or just their name. Or just the problem. Young people barely called us. But the majority that did would leave their number and name first and would repeat it at the end. I find it usually doesn't matter. The phone operator is usually not paying attention. "Hello, I'm CK representing CK Inc. And I would like a quote on your widget." "Okay, great. Let me get your name and the company you work for." This goes for answering calls too. I called the police non-emergency number once. The person answering the phone said, "Hello?" I was like, "Hi, is this the police? I need to report a crime." Like, how do you become the operator for a police department and think hello is an appropriate way to answer a call? My job also involves answering phones, and in my experience, the 60-70-year-olds will start rambling on and on without giving me an opportunity to interrupt to say I need to transfer them to the appropriate person. The younger crew, 20-30-year-olds, are timid and, like OP said, don't know how to spit out what they want or need. In my experience, young people say exactly what they need to say because we all hate talking on the phone and want it to be over with ASAP. Old people will just go on and on if you don't stop them or direct the conversation. Don't use speakerphone if you want the other party to understand you clearly. Acoustics are horrible in that room and you sound like you've fallen down a well. Never use speakerphone if in a public place. If you are calling the post office to ask about a package, please, for the love of God and all that is holy, have the damn tracking number in front of you. Know your own zip code. Please don't make me roll my eyes because you have to scroll through your phone to find it while you are on it. Additionally, I agree with OP. Speak clearly. Half of you have something going on in the background screaming kids, the other half of you are driving and all I hear is your air conditioning. I want to help you. Help me to help you. And leaving a message with your name and number at the beginning and end so someone can catch it easily. "Hi, this is Name here. You can reach me at 555-555-5555. I'm calling about a thing with my what's a ma. What's it's because I've been working with whomever you're calling about. Please give me a call back. I'm around in the daytime. Leave me a message or text on my cell. Again, this is Name here and my number is 555-555-5555. The amount of old people that have lost their shit and screamed at me just to find out they called the wrong place and then hang up the phone without even a remote apology. It blows my mind. Sometimes after being on hold for 2 hours I forget who I am and why I've called and leave a voicemail. "We're not calling you back if you don't leave a message." And it went to voicemail because there is one phone line and it was busy. Leave a message and we'll get back to you. Also, don't lie about how many times you've called, when you called, and how many voicemails you left. Business phone system log all of it. As soon as I know you're being a jerk and lying about when or if you called, I'm going to be less helpful.